Hello FIFA fans and welcome to the 9th episode of the Academy story, and in this episode we are in crisis. So why are we in crisis then? Well, we have another injury. Fuentes is out for 3 weeks, adding to our injury list, and that injury list now spans 3 players. So we got Thornley, who's going to be out for a long time, Smith, who's coming back from injury, but Fuentes now are out for 3 weeks. This really is salt in the wounds because we have a tiny squad anyway and we're struggling. So this just isn't helping us. And the problem is we might keep getting injuries, so we need to adapt. So things are going to change. But before we have a look at what's going to change, some good news to start the episode off. Marcio Sandoval is now ready to be promoted. So yeah, we'll be checking out his stats, but we can see the guy's got 89 to 94 potential, which is happy days. A right-footed player, brilliant, and a centre midfielder. That is what we need. And Bello, fingers crossed not too long to wait for Bello. But let's get into some of the things I said we'd touch on in the last episode. Here is the table then, and we're sitting at 6th at the moment. We played 14 games, won 7, drawn 3, and lost 4. So we're in a pretty strong position, but we want to get promoted. We want to. I'll probably lose every viewer if we don't get promoted in the first season because it'll be kind of dull. So yeah, we want to get promoted, but we're not going to be able to do that unless we sign some decent talent. That's for sure. With the small squad we've got, we are really struggling, and it's not just a small squad, but those free agents we brought in, they're just not cutting it. They, you know, I mean, Poper's had a couple of good games, but you can feel it. You can feel it when you're playing with him. They're free agents for a reason, and I'm thinking, yeah, we need to up the ante. You know, we need to invest in change. So just checking the squad hub then, the first thing is the status. Let's have a look at the form, and we can see everyone's playing well. I'm quite critical. I'm always like, oh yeah, this player's not doing too well and whatnot, but they are doing well, I suppose, for the expectation. Everyone's more or less happy. Boateng, not bothered about him, but everyone else is, you know, they're either happy or content. You got a couple of, look at that, Edwards really happy. And he should be. He's playing really well. Oscar, very happy. Again, another one. But everyone is generally doing pretty well. Looking at some of the important stats then. The first thing here, we're looking at appearances. And we can see that Oscar has featured the most alongside with Hendricks and Jacobs. And to be fair, Jacobs has played a lot more than I thought. For some reason, I always thought I didn't play him too much. But yeah, he's played 15. It's good for Oscar because that means he's only Oscar's only 5 games away until we can train that position to left midfield, which is happy days. Of course, I think there's a couple more training sessions needed, but he's not too far off at all. Yeah, getting that left mid position. Same goes for Hendricks, and everyone else is just kind of slotting in. You know, we'll look at the guys that aren't really playing, and you know, the free agents, Montenegro, Fornelli, no surprises there. Reese, to be fair, he's played less than I thought, but not by much. But everyone's doing okay. Everyone should be relatively happy. Okay, so moving on to the next. We're going to talk about both goals and assists here because, again, Hendricks is someone I'm quite critical of, and that's because every time I'm playing a game and the opportunities come, like you notice a difference between when you like Premier League and you've got a decent striker and you're going against like a lower end side, because the striker, they're so clinical, and it's something you notice. Like if you're creating the chances, especially in Legendary, you know you have to take him, and that's the only thing I always pick up on. I'm like, oh, that should have gone in, that should have gone in. But looking at the stats, I mean, 6 goals, 9 assists, that's freaking amazing. He's doing so much more than just being a striker with those assists. So Hendricks, I think by far, he's our best player at the moment in terms of getting us the points. No surprises who's second, Edwards, the Australian, and I mean, fair play to the guys that picked up on this, but they were saying that, yeah, they kind of saw with Edwards, they saw the potential in him, and yeah, he's performing fantastic. 3 assists, 4 goals, lovely. Gonzalo, good for goals, not great with the assists. So somebody mentioned it in the comments, and I'm going to go with it. We're going to train Gonzalo to be a striker because 6'2", I think he is a little bit too tall to be a right winger because he struggles with that kind of the dribbling to just cut inside. He's a little bit predictable and a little bit heavy-footed, but as a striker, we've seen how he can hit the ball with his left foot. I think, yeah, Gonzalo is going to make an absolute awesome striker in the future. So we're going to start, as soon as the other guys are trained, we're going to get that ball rolling with Gonzalo. He is going to become a striker. And just have a look at the key other players then. I mean, Abbas is awesome on the ball, and I can't wait to develop his skill moves. He's someone that we're definitely going to train up because this guy has got such good potential. And he, out of all the players, obviously when you control him, I would say him and Jacobs, they feel like they just feel awesome on the ball. Like Jacobs he has quite a lot of pace. He's got good acceleration. But Abbas, he just tends to dribble. His his turning on the ball is really good. A lot better than, let's say, that of Gonzalo. But I think where Abbas lets himself down a little bit is just maybe with his passing, but one-on-one, he is fantastic. Having a look through, I would say there's not really anyone that's underperforming too badly. The free agents, I'm not even counting them because they're not planning on being in the squad for long, as in, you know, we've only got them in to help out, but we want to get rid of them because they can't go anywhere. You know, they haven't got the potential to take us places. So yeah, so we're not really going to spend too much time on them. And then coming to the defenders then, and now this is a surprise as well, because looking at this clean sheets, you think, oh, okay, which defender? But it seems to be that when Gonzalo plays, we have more clean sheets. I don't know quite why that is, but he's got the most clean sheets. So yeah, yeah, bizarre, but our right winger has got the most clean sheets. Happy days with that. For Steele, I mean, he's only got 3 clean sheets, and this, I would say for Steele, he needs to develop a lot more than he is, because out of 13 appearances that he's played, 3 clean sheets, to me that's just not good enough. And I know we can say it's the defence as well, and we can have a look at the defence and we can see pretty much the same, but a lot of the time what I've been finding when we're playing is that for Steele, he's not doing the job of making some world-class saves. He's made a couple, but there's a lot of times I think he's at fault, and it will be really good to give him some one-on-one training. And it will more or less actually come in January when we can use the tokens and stuff. I think we can be quite effective with him. We're trying to improve maybe his stats, his goalkeeping stats, to, I think, his speed. He just needs to be able to get down quicker. He needs to be able to, you know, get down and make the save, because he's just a bit slow to react. So yeah, maybe his reactions or speed, one of those two. Yeah, that will help him out. Here we're looking at the attributes then, and we can see what players are on a good kind of development path and maybe what ones are developing a little bit slower. So we know Hendricks is going to be up there because we've used Derek. Derek's trained him. He's had 2 training sessions, so he's +8. So I mean, happy days to that. There's no real surprises there. I mean, Faye has come on a long way, and so has the rest of the defenders, and that's again because we have been training them. These 5, these are the ones you'd expect to be higher, because these are the 5 that are changing positions shortly. But besides that, we have Jacobs, one of our, I think the youngest player actually at 16, apart from the 2 guys that are in the youth academy at the moment. But a +3 change overall, that's brilliant. And this guy, I just know he's going to be awesome. When in a few years' time, he's going to be absolutely epic. But there's some steady growth. Everyone else is growing steadily. We'll go down to the kind of the bottom now, and we'll just see who hasn't really been grown. And this is a surprising one, Hubert, because he had a really good potential as well. And Hubert hasn't really, yeah, he hasn't really blossomed yet. He's not developing. He's at 59, so that's a little bit worrying. Hopefully he's just a late bloomer and we'll start to see him develop a bit. And I'd say the same for Steele. We want to start seeing growth. But everyone else, as long as they've got a +2 at this point, of course there's a lot of the season left to go, so hopefully we will start seeing some changes. And the final page we're looking at then is the value. We just want to see how the players have gone up. And this is surprising, because I thought with the players we're training, naturally their ratings are going up, so that means they're going to be more expensive. But look at this, we got Fuentes, Abbas and Rose and Gonzalo. These are players we haven't touched, and they're 66%, 50%, 40%, 133% for Fuentes. He's worth 3.5 million at this point, and I'm really worried because although we've got long contracts on everyone, I'm really worried that it's going to get to the point where they're going to develop too quick and we're not going to be able to keep hold of them. It's not the end of the world, because like I said, adapt to survive. We're having to make this series up because there's, you know, at the start of the series I said 20 youth players, happy days. I've underestimated it. It's not going to work because of injuries, because of how busy schedule we have. When you're doing other teams, and when, I mean, the lower league teams, they seem to play a lot more games. There's a lot more cup games, but because they finish the season early, they cram a lot of games in. There's of course more games than there is in the Premier League, and naturally, so yeah, there's a lot of games. The squad's too small. We can't handle it with the stamina because the youth player stamina is just too low. It's not high enough. So yeah, we're gonna have some big changes coming. Okay then, so let's talk about the changes. Someone mentioned it in the comments, and I completely agree. We have to do this, because if we don't, we are going to struggle. We're going to have to resend out the scouts. We're going to send them out for 2 months. Okay, so 2 months, and we're going to get 6 players. Now, I'm going to work hard to make sure I get 6 players that are going to be absolutely epic. I'm going to keep reloading. I'm just going to keep on plugging away, because I want 6 players that are going to be epic. So if you remember at the start of the series, I said we're going to have 20 youth players, and each one of those 20 youth players are going to have a different nationality. Now, we're going to stick to that. So we're going to have 26 different nationalities. It's going to be hard for sure. It's going to take a lot of searching to get it. But yeah, I still want to have every single player in the team has a different nationality from the youth academy players coming through. Of course, if we do sign regens and stuff, we've already said that we're going to make allowance. So if you can have any 2 of the same player's nationality, but for ones that we scout, they all have to have different. So as per the comments then, the first scout we're sending out, Thomas Wolf, we're going to send him to Sweden and see who he can bring back. We're going to send him out for a month. And then I'm going to guarantee a decent Swedish player. I'm going to take him back, and then we'll put him back out for the second month. So of course we're getting 6 different nationality players. So we're going to go for any type. We're going to mix it up. We're going to see who we get. We're not going to guarantee like a winger for Sweden. We're just going to see who comes out. So Sweden is the country that we're sending the first scout out to. So of course I've done the day in between now, and we're going to send out the next scout, Alexander Hansen, and he is going to go to Venezuela, and hopefully we can pick up a decent Venezuelan player. Again, we've got the day in between now, and we're going to send out our third scout to Ecuador and see who we can bring back. And now this is where you guys can get involved, because of course we're going to be sending these scouts out next month as well to pick up another 3 players from different nationalities. I want you guys to let me know where you want these players to be picked up from. Of course, do bear in mind that they can't be the same as what we've already got for the Youth Academy guys, but they can be the same as the ones brought in from free agents. So for example, someone like Popa, who's from Romania, we can send someone to Romania because he hasn't come from the Youth Academy. Mexico hasn't come from the Youth Academy, so we can pick him up. Canada. So there are a lot out there. If you have a look at the first video, or if you're just following the series anyway, you'll be able to know, you know, what countries we've gone to, what countries haven't. For example, we've gone to England already for Rose, but he was a free agent, Thornley, so we were able to pick him up. But yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, whereabouts you want me to send the scouts for next month, and then we'll have a look at what players we can bring in there. This kind of all really rolls in nicely to our league projects as well, because I was a little bit worried because of the youth development is very high. And because the financial is as well, the salary growth, I was thinking, well, we could quite easily fail these. So it's going to help us out with our youth development. Of course, we should be able to do these. It says sign 4 youth players. Well, we know we're going to do that. So yeah, it should help us out with our targets as well. At the moment, we're sitting at 71. And hopefully that will just keep on climbing. Pretty much checked out everything that I said we would have in the previous episode. We know where we are in the league. We know how the players are kind of getting on. And we've got this big adaptation now to how we're going to get some new players in. So in the next episode, I'm just going to get through all of November, because I really just want to get as close as we can to January. In the next episode also, we're going to be looking at our new youth player that we will be signing. We'll check him out, check his appearance out, check his stats, see how he's going to be fitting into the team. But I'm going to be getting through, yeah, all the games in November, because the quicker we can get to January, the quicker we can start using tokens, the quicker we can start training. But also, we want to start getting these scout reports in. So what I want to do is I'm going to smash all of November in the next episode, and then the episode after, we're going to have a look at what players we've been able to get from the scouts back. So fingers crossed, we're going to get some absolute legends to fill out the squad. So of course we have got Derek to do his training session as well for next month. I've decided to go with Ubert for next month because he's the only player that's really lagging behind, really. We want to try and boost him up a little bit because he's going to be vital in defense, because again, defensively we are kind of lacking. We've got a couple of free agents in, but they're just not cutting the mustard at all. We saw that game a few games ago where I said I'd never play that team again because the back 3 were just in absolute shambles. So we want to start training the guys with potential. So yeah, we're going to be training Uber for the month of November with Derek. And so just wrapping this episode up now, we're just going to have a look at the last training session for the month of October. I will be continuing the training sessions in November. I'm not going to show you all the training sessions. We're just going to have a look at the end of the next month where we're at, because hopefully a lot of these players, especially Oscar, hopefully Oscar will be there or thereabouts in terms of the position changes, but we address all of that in the episode after next. Anyone that's got there with the position changes, but we have a look again at how the players are looking. I'm not going to keep showing you all the training sessions. We're just going to have a look episode after next. Okay, this is now where Oscar is, this is that, because you better see him play. We want to really focus on the games, how we're getting on in the games. We want to see the development. And yeah, the actual minor stats until January when it comes to adding the tokens and seeing where we want to, you know, if we want to add stats for players and whatnot. besides that, we're not going to spend too much time until January looking at the stats. A, C, C, C. Lovely there. Oscar, I think that's his second A now in a row that he's had that. So they're making good progress, and I'm looking forward to all these players just finally getting their new positions so we can start training another 5 players, well, up to 5 players in new positions. What I wanted to mention very quickly is the training. Of course, I said they need to have 20 games to go to their new position. They need to have 20 training sessions as well. Now, that can be quite difficult to have the 20 training sessions. So what I've decided to do is, if, let's say, with Montenegro from right back to right mid, he has had the 20 games, but there's quite a few training sessions that can relate to a right midfield role. So he can have up to a maximum of 3. So let's just say with Montenegro we put training 1, training 2, training 3. That's 3 training sessions down. So it just means that, of course, we don't have to train them for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. They still have to play the games, but at the moment we're getting, like, in a month we're having like 6-7 games, so they're smashing through that, and sometimes you can only get 4 training sessions in, depending on how they fall. So yeah, that's another way we're going to be doing it, so we can really push on the guys to do the training sessions. That is it for the episode then, guys. We're just this is a nice setup then for the next episode and the episode after that, when we can really dive into having a look who we've got. A nice few bits to mix around. We're going to struggle, I imagine, over the coming month with how many fixtures we got. We're going to just have to scrape by. But from January, we should start seeing massive changes. I mean, even into December, because we're going to have 3 new players coming into December. So that's going to make a big difference. But I do think January, with the transfer window open, we can have a look at a couple of the regens then, just to bulk out the squad. So I'm thinking from January onwards, if we're not in the strongest position in the league then, but we're okay, we can really just go full out. We can offload some of the free agents, try and make some quick money there, and then bring in whatever, if we can, if they're signed for us. Hopefully they're signed for us. Main aim for this season is to see good development for the players, finishing top 3 or so. We just want to get promotion, so if we get the playoffs, that's not a drama. Other than that, guys, if you did enjoy the video, if you give it a thumbs up, that would be great. If you have any comments for me, any feedback or any suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. We will start doing some more polls in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching, and take it easy.